YouTube Live. Thank you for joining me on this live stream. You are the real MVP. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you for joining. Thank you for joining. Almost didn't make it late. Almost make it late, but we're here in time. Thank you, Latif, for joining me on this live stream. You're the real MVP. Thank God it's Friday. Hope you're doing well physically, mentally, and emotionally on this day, and have slept like a king last night. And hope everybody have slept like kings and queens last night, and doing well physically, mentally, and emotionally on this day. And thank God for joining me on this Friday. But yeah, the reason why I'm late, well, a few minutes late, is to get everything set up, the lights, the cameras, the sound system. But we are here right now, ladies and gentlemen, and we are here on a Friday. As you can see, we are in the end of May, May 31st, 2024, 4:09. Give it up, 4:09. That means that tomorrow is going to be in the month of June. That means that we are less than a few weeks away from the summer, ladies and gentlemen. Are you ready for the summer? Are you ready for the summer? Because it seemed like in some areas summer has started. Especially if you live in the state of Florida, temperatures have been up to already have reached the temperature of over 100 degrees, and we're not even in summer yet. June is just around the corner, literally around the corner. About tomorrow is a day away. So, so right now, everybody get your blush ready, get your bones ready. What's up, Latif? Hope you have a good day as well. And get ready right now because we're about less than 10 minutes away for 420. So get everything ready right now. Get everything rolled up. Get your bowls packed. Get your bone whippers packed. Get your drinks ready, your edibles, because we about to get it in less than 10 minutes away. And of course, we got lots of stuff to talk about. One of the things that I love to talk about is if you guys saw the debate between Donald Trump and Joe Biden earlier today. They had a live debate between Donald Trump and Joe Biden that took place live earlier today. I don't know if anybody catch that, but and the one thing that and it was on YouTube live as well, so you know the comment section is is have went is super have went super crazy. Let them know exactly what's on their minds. And was I was surprised because normally every time Joe Biden gets on the air on YouTube, they normally shut down the comment section. But this time they have the comment section wide open for this one during the entire Joe Biden speech. That's why I was like, did you guys catch that earlier? Joe Biden speech along with Donald Trump. First, Donald Trump started off with his speech, and then after that came Joe Biden. First, Donald Trump started off saying that they didn't want a fair trial. Everything is against them. Everything is um is for Joe Biden, and that the judge didn't want a fair trial. They didn't want nobody to they did nobody to defend Donald Trump. Nobody have to say so when it comes to Donald Trump and his side of the story. That's what Trump was saying throughout his whole speech. He was saying that it's just injustice, and this is an unfair trial, and there's no case. There's no case. Every person that they try to give the case to, they throw the case completely out because there's. He said that there is absolutely no case. This is ridiculous. He never said anything. He never said any case like it. Even Fox News, that's as a former attorney, saying that they have never seen anything like it when it comes to this case with um with Donald Trump. That is what they're trying to do, wherever it takes to lock up Donald Trump and to make sure that Joe Biden has become your two-time president of the United States. Oh yeah, by the way, excuse the background noise because we all know what's going on in the hood. Lots of noise, lots of music, lots of people talking outside. So, that's what let you guys know in the background noise. It was like, damn, who's that talking in the background? What's that music in the background? That's all coming from outside, ladies and gentlemen. So, bear with me. Just what let you guys know. And we got less than 6 minutes away. I mean, we got. Let you guys know now, we are 16 minutes away for 420. So make sure everything rolled up. Make sure you got everything packed because around 420 Eastern time, 1 o'clock, 1 p.m. 1:20 p.m. West Coast. We about to get it in at the same damn time. So make sure y'all ready now because we about 5 minutes left. 5 minutes away for 420. Get ready now. Get ready now. Get ready now. But this is what and then Joe Biden came right behind him with the speech. And wow. And this is what Joe Biden said in his speech. Oh my God.
The girl who isn't the easiest to love. But hear me out. She's got a mind that never quits,
Come on, man.
overthinking every detail. She can react big, feel deeply insecure at times, and she might cling to your attention like it's her lifeline. She wants.
I would say this tab is not lightning fast, obviously. 3 minutes away, guys, for 420, guys. 3 minutes away.
nothing easy about it. Through it all, though, the United States has worked relentlessly to support Israeli security, to get humanitarian supplies into Gaza, to get a ceasefire and a hostage deal to bring this war to an end.
2 minutes, Joe. 2 minutes.
Today, with this new initiative, we've taken an important step in that direction.
Look at the comment section, y'all. The going end of Joe Biden.
As to where we are and what might be possible. But I need your help. Everyone that wants peace now must raise their voices.
Look at the comments.
Let the leaders know they should take this deal.
You see everybody going in on Joe Biden
Work
in the comment section?
Make it lasting.
Sleepy Joe, FJB, 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 FJB.
It's time to begin.
Lies. More, no money, no more money.
For the suffering to stop. It's time for this war to end.
12 for 24.
For the day after to begin.
Guys, you got 19 minutes away.
President, can you tell us, sir,
look at this.
Donald Trump refers to himself as a political prisoner and blames you directly. What's your response to that, sir? Do you think the condition
look at Joe
will
Biden's
impact
face.
on our campaign?
Look at the smoke on his face.
We'd love to hear
After I
your
heard about
thoughts, sir.
Donald Trump.
Be on the ballot, sir?
What's your thoughts on Donald Trump? And he just turns around and smiles. You could tell people is going to end. People is going to end on the comment section.
The United States has worked relentlessly.
People is going to end on Trump in the comment section. That's why I was like.
In Gaza.
That's why I was like, looks like YouTube forgot to turn off the comment section, because normally during a Joe Biden speech, the comment section would be completely turned off. That's why I was surprised that the comment section is still turned on. Well, guys, you know what time it is. What time is it? What time is it?
The time is 4:20 p.m.
You heard what you said. It's 12:20. Happy 420, guys. Get it. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. First hit of the afternoon. First hit of the afternoon on 420. Hope you guys were able to catch along with me doing that 420 hit. Unfortunately, it's now 421. If you miss out, maybe next time. Don't forget to leave your notification bell on all so you won't miss the next coming 4 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time, 1 o'clock West Coast. That's 4 p.m. East Coast, 1 o'clock West Coast. So, and hit your notification bell on all so you won't miss any of my up-and-coming live streams and videos, and you won't miss any of my up-and-coming 420 hits, so you won't miss out on that one as we take a hit at the same damn time, around 4:20 Eastern Time, 1 West Coast. And remember, ladies and gentlemen, doing an sesh, always stay hydrated. Especially if you're doing a sesh in the middle of the summer, it's 100 degrees plus. You definitely want to stay hydrated during that time, because the last thing you want to do is be hot and dehydrated at the same time. that is the bad combination. You being high and you dehydrated. No, no grano, no grano. Cheers, gang. Cause you don't know, cause you don't know if you're high, or you don't know if it's the high feeling or the feeling that you're about to pass out due to lack of due to you being dehydrated. Cause that's why I say always stay hydrated. During the summer, that's about to come up, where it's really really hot. There you go. But every time we turn around, Joe Biden is giving the American people more and more reason not to vote for him, and give us more of a reason to vote for Trump. So they definitely let Joe Biden have it when it comes to what is on their minds when it comes to the state of the United States and the direction it is headed. It says that it says that Donald Trump was found guilty of falsifying business records.
Do so corruptly to hide things from the voters. At the same time, their summation, and I saw the beginning and the end of it, was 5 hours long. It was very complicated and was mostly easy to follow, but there were times when it got kind of weedy. How difficult is a case like this for a jury? And is it made easier or harder having two lawyers on the jury?
Well, it's interesting. We've talked about this. Lawyers on the jury does change the tenor because it's human nature for people to kind of go, well, what do you guys think? But if they're responsible and follow the rules, they're supposed to, of course, only find facts and deal with the evidence, not give some sort of like random legal advice to the jury. You know what I mean?
But does the jury look to them and say, you understand how to read the law, you're more schooled in this than I am, can you take a leadership role here to try to help us understand what's going on?
Yep.
President Donald Trump is expected to hold a press conference at Trump Tower.
Now, this all comes after a Manhattan jury found him guilty of all 34
prisons.
Here's his speech.
And they're coming in from mental institutions.
His speech from earlier.
Asylums.
Right before Joe Biden's speech.
And we have a president and a group of fascists that don't want to do anything about it because they.
You said he was threatened with jail.
Could stop it.
Don't speak about guilty verdict.
Our country's in very bad shape, and
he said Trump about to join a seat. He is a Cali style or New York style banger.
4 times. They want to stop you from having cars.
See, look.
Ridiculous mandates that make it impossible for you to get a car or afford a car. Could make it very possible for China to build all of our cars. It's a very serious problem that we have. We just went through one of many experiences where we had a conflicted judge, highly conflicted. There's never been a more conflicted judge. Now, I'm under a gag order, which nobody's ever been under. No presidential candidate's ever been under a gag order before. I'm under a gag order, nasty gag order, where I've had to pay thousands of dollars in penalties and fines and was threatened with jail. Think of it. I'm the leading candidate. I'm leading Biden by a lot, and I'm leading
Said the threat
the
number jail
Republicans to the point where that's
for
over.
being found
So
guilty.
I'm the leading person for president, and I'm under a gag order by a man that can't put two sentences together, given by a court, and they are in total conjunction with the White House and the DOJ, just so you understand. This is all done by Biden and his people. And maybe his people more importantly. I don't know if Biden knows too much about it, because I don't know if he knows about anything. But he's nevertheless the president, so we have to use his name. This is done by Washington, and nobody's ever seen anything like it. So we have a judge who's highly conflicted. You know what the confliction is. Nobody wants to write about it, and I'm not allowed to talk about it. If I do, he said, I get put in jail. So we'll play that game a little bit longer. We won't talk about it, but you're allowed to talk about it. I hope you do, because there's never been anybody so conflicted as this. As far as the trial itself, it was very unfair. We weren't allowed to use our election expert.
He's doing shots at Joe Biden and his
you saw
gang.
what happened to
right?
some of the witnesses that were on our side. They were literally crucified by this man.
You're saying that they're making it
Looks like
unfair
an angel,
to have an
but he's
unfair
really a
trial
devil.
because
He looks so
they
nice
have
and soft.
judges and
People say, "Oh, he seems like such a nice man." No, unless you saw him in action, and you saw that
and the police in his back in
with
his
the certain
back
witness
pocket.
that went through hell.
The Biden family.
And when we wanted to do things, he wouldn't let us do those things. But when the government wanted something, they got everything. They got everything they wanted. It was a rigged trial. We wanted a venue change where we could have a fair trial. We didn't get it. We wanted a judge change. We wanted a judge that wasn't conflicted. And obviously he didn't do that. Nobody's ever seen anything like it. We had a DA who was a failed DA. Crime is rampant in New York, violent crime. That's what he's really supposed to be looking at.
They said crime is going rapidly in New York.
Yesterday in McDonald's, you had a man hitting him up with machetes, a machete. Whoever can imagine even a machete being wielded in a store, in a place where they're eating, and he's going rampant. And Bragg is down watching a trial on what they call crimes. They're falsifying business records. That sounds so bad. To me, it sounds very bad. You know, it's only a misdemeanor, but to me, it sounds so bad. When they say falsifying business, that's a bad thing for me. I've never had that before. I'm falsifying. You know what falsifying business records is? In the first degree. They say falsifying business records. Sounds so good, right? It means that legal expense. I paid a lawyer, totally legal. I paid a lawyer a legal expense.
You pay a lawyer legal expenses.
For me, correctly marked it down in the books. A very professional woman, highly respected. She testified. Marked it down in the books as a legal expense. So a legal expense, paid a lawyer, is a legal expense in the books. It's not sheetrock, construction, or any other thing. It's a legal expense. Think of that. This is what the falsification of business records were. And I said, what else are you going to call it? What else are you going to call it? Now, I would have testified. I wanted to testify. The theory is you never testify, because as soon as you testify, anybody, if it were George Washington, don't testify, because they'll get you on something that you said slightly wrong, and then they sue you for perjury. But I didn't care about that. I wanted to. But the judge allowed them to go into everything that I was ever involved in, not this case, everything that I was ever involved in, which is a first. In other words, you could go into every single thing that I ever did. Was he a bad boy here? Was he a bad boy there? And my lawyer said, what do you need to go through? And all you wanted to do is testify simply on this case. Mm-hmm. Because I would have loved to have testified. To this day, I would have liked to have testified. But you would have said something out of whack, like it was a beautiful sunny day and it was actually raining out. And I very much appreciate the big crowd of people outside. That's incredible what's happening. The level of support has been incredible. So the whole thing is legal expense was marked down as legal expense. Think of it. This is the crime that I committed.
This is what he's
that
been
I'm supposed
committed.
to go to jail for 187 years for. When you have violent crime all over this city at levels that nobody's ever seen before, where you have businesses leaving, and businesses are leaving because of this, because heads of businesses say.
All right, so you've been listening to
Okay.
former President Donald Trump.
Well, is he wrong? Is he wrong? When it comes to have been rapidly taking over the cities to the point where businesses have found themselves have found themselves shutting down due to the area of being flooded. It had been taken over by crimes, especially when it comes to 7-Eleven. How many people 7-Eleven right now has been boarded up due to countless robbery has been taking place by criminals when it comes to 7-Eleven. And not to mention, hold up. Not to mention, it's not, it's not, ever since Joe Biden became the president of the United States, everywhere you go, there's some type of mass shooting. And the places where you would even think that there would be a mass shooting, whether it's at a school or at a church or even a mall. That's what happened of the mall called Mall of America. It got check this out.
Upset stomach, indigestion, hyperosmosis gas.
They got a video footage of showed moments surrounding the fatal shooting in 2022. Check this out. 2 years ago. This is 2 years ago, ladies and gentlemen.
So, baby, you found the purse that you wanted?
This happened at the mall, 2022. That's what Trump was talking about when he says crime has become rapidly.
And now for the first time, we are seeing the frantic moments before and after a deadly shooting at the Mall of America nearly a year and a half ago. Tomorrow, one of the gunmen will be sentenced for murdering a teenager. It happened 2 days before Christmas back in 2022.
And tonight, Paul Bloom is opening the never-before-seen case file as the victim's family heads to court seeking justice.
So this is where the gun ended up, right on top of these jeans. Here is the cash register.
This investigative video walks us through the jarring crime scene inside a popular Mall of America department store just before Christmas.
And then
Right before Christmas, y'all.
where I'm pointing, right here, right by these sweatpants, is where the body ended up.
And we start tonight with breaking news. The Mall of America is in a lockdown after 2 people were shot, 1 killed.
The deadly shooting inside the nation's largest shopping center the night of December 23rd, 2022 sent shockwaves across the country and led to a massive manhunt for a pair of gunmen and their alleged accomplices.
We're going to catch these people. Believe that.
It also shattered the family of 19-year-old Jonte Hudson.
He's just a ball of light. Everywhere he went, he just lit up the room with a smile.
Hudson was shot 8 times in the back and killed among the clothing racks. In this never-before-seen surveillance video from inside Nordstrom, we show you how the deadly confrontation unfolded in a chaotic final burst of violence.
Damn.
Here on the upper left side of the screen, that is Hudson getting tackled into a table and display rack. He attempts to scurry away when Tayshaun Adams' right and a second gunman stand over him and open fire. In court filings, prosecutors write Hudson was stalked and, quote, executed.
You know, emotions is not a word for what we're feeling. We're heartbroken. We're devastated. We want them to pay for what they've done.
Holiday shoppers and store employees had noticed an escalating feud between young men that evening. Several of them armed as they moved through the mall.
Mulberry Security.
Hey, I just saw a guy with a gun in his pants. He was pretty obvious. It was right in his waistband, right in the front. And I'm on the second level.
In his pants?
Yep.
Then the call from inside Nordstrom just before 8 p.m.
Hey, I'm an employee at Nordstrom. Can we get some small security, some kids fighting in here?
What's Nordstrom, like, inside?
Nordstrom, the main Nordstrom on the first floor.
Well, where'd you stop? What do the kids look like? Hello? Hello?
You can hear the gunfire over the phone while cameras in other departments capture the panicked reaction of terrified customers. An innocent woman shopping with her teen daughter was grazed by a bullet while taking cover. The state has provided portions of these videos to a Hennepin County judge for his review before making a sentencing decision for Adams Wright on Thursday. Prosecutors are asking for more than 30 years in prison.
We will never accept anything. Our son is dead. You cannot bring our son back.
They get a second chance at life. But my son don't.
Tayshawn Adams, right over here, previously pleaded guilty to second-degree murder and assault charges. His sentencing is scheduled for tomorrow at 9 a.m. Meantime, the case against alleged gunman number 2, Levon Longstreet, that case continues to work its way through the system and is set to go to trial as soon as next week. Paul Bloom, Fox 9.
Free gift alerts.
This is what Donald Trump was talking about when he says crime has become rapidly all over the United States, not just in his hometown of New York City. You can't even go outside without worry about getting shot, stabbed, worry about somebody knowing that you can't even go into a certain area without worrying about somebody starting a mass shooting out the blue, or somebody starting a stabbing spree out of the blue.
People were crying outside too. Was just really scary and probably like something like no one has ever experienced before.
Tense moments after shots rang out inside Glenbrook Square Mall today for the third time in less than a year. 3 times people had fled from the mall as quickly as possible after hearing those gunshots.
A different
we'll
mall
bring you some
yesterday.
reaction in a moment, but first, here's everything we can tell you about what happened today. This took place around 2:30 p.m. in the
Glen Mall,
food
a
court
different
area
mall.
of the mall. Officers quickly arrived and began working to evacuate everyone still inside. Police say 2 men were involved. Both possessed guns, but only one fired shots. FWPD says the actual shooting suspect is still on the loose tonight. The other man was arrested. He is 22-year-old Brandon Key Jr. This is video Wayne 15 cameras caught moments after the shooting near the mall at Dan's Porch and Patio at the Coldwater Road and North Clinton Street split. It appears to show Key Jr. being taken into custody. Key Jr. faces 3 charges. They are criminal recklessness, a level 6 felony, another level 6 felony of intimidation, and a misdemeanor for resisting law enforcement. Now, there was a shooting victim who suffered non-life-threatening injuries after being hit in a, quote, lower extremity. One other person was hospitalized after they suffered a possible fracture during the chaos of everyone trying to get out. Wayne 15's Mia Pettigrew spoke to several people, some inside the mall at the time, and others with loved ones inside. Mia joins us with what they had to say. Mia.
Rex, it's the weekend before Mother's Day, and today seemed like the perfect day to do some shopping, until it wasn't. Shots fired inside Limerick
Right
Square
before
Mall.
Mother's
I was
Day.
in the shoe store right by the food court, and then my family and I were just trying on shoes, and then we just heard these really like loud shots. It's either from somewhere and had to be near the food court, Jason Penney's, or someone right upstairs.
From what I saw, everyone
Hear
just
this, y'all?
ran down the hallway, and I'm like, what's
Just
going on?
randomly
Instead
just
of
start
So
shooting.
I was like, cool, and I just shut my gate because I'm used to it. It happened last year twice in my hallway.
People running to save themselves, others worried about loved ones inside.
My daughter works up at Journey Kids, and we were just here. We were actually buying shoes and left. We were just pulling out of the parking lot, and she called and said there was a shooting at the mall. She was in the bathroom. It just happened. I immediately turned around, came back.
Many frustrated with today's shooting now being added to a list of gun-related incidents at Limerick Square.
It's one of those situations. The stuff just needs to stop here. We're done with it. It needs to get out of Fort Wayne. Fort Wayne doesn't want it. The people don't want it. Take your gangs, your guns, your stupidity, go elsewhere.
Considering this is the third one that's happened in a year.
Third one.
It's kind of like one of those things
It's
where
like
you
three
kind of
times
have to
happened
look
this
down
year.
the hallway just to make sure that things are fine. And any loud noise that you hear now in the hallway is kind of, was that a gunshot or did somebody drop something?
We can't let that stuff shut us down. And I try to teach my kids that, and I'm going to let her know. I mean, she's going to be freaked out, but she'll get through it. And the thing is, we can't stop what we're doing because of other people being stupid. It happens. You can't necessarily affect it or change it if it happens, but you can't live in fear and you can't run from it. You can't stop your day-to-day life.
Police said the mall would be closed for the remainder of today. We haven't heard any confirmation if it will reopen tomorrow. As always, we'll keep you updated on air and on Wayne.com. Mia Pettigrew, Wayne 15 News.
Mia, thank you.
And you would think that stuff like that only happens in the hood. That's the remember where it looks like people used to make fun of people who live in the hood, saying that, oh, be careful living in the hood because you might get shot, you might get stabbed, you might get kidnapped, all that stuff, just by being in the hood. But it looks like that's no longer the case because it is not just the hood, ladies and gentlemen. As you can see, it is absolutely everywhere. Proven by the news. It's either at bus stops, it's either happening in transit, it's happening in malls even, that have absolutely nothing to do with the hood. These are places where you would not expect stuff like that to happen. Look at this.
On breaking news, we brought you
another mall shooting. This time at a Concord Mall in Delaware. Look.
last night at 11. A 16-year-old is dead, and a 17-year-old is seriously wounded following a shooting at a carnival in Wilmington, Delaware. It happened just before 11 o'clock last night in the parking lot of the Concord Mall. Authorities say it started as a fight involving several people near the entrance of the carnival before escalating into gunfire. So far, police have made no arrests in this case.
I don't know about you guys, but it seems to me that there is desperately trying to push the upcoming of martial law, because it's not just happening at one specific area. It's not just happening in two specific areas. It seems like it's happening in all areas. And what it is, malls, schools, churches, transit, bus stops, home invasion, it's all seems to be happening everywhere. And it's all have to do with what? Guns. all got to do with killing and taking people's. Like I said, don't be surprised if they act on martial law, because look up all, because like I said, it's not just happening in a couple of 2 areas, 1 or 2 areas. This is happening at multiple areas all over the United States. And what happens, and what is the definition of martial law? Martial law.
Martial law.
Love what you find. Only
accidentally released the T virus. It all started with a cough, some difficult.
What?
It's finally happened. A less than ethical bioresearch company accidentally released the T virus. It all started with a cough, some difficulty breathing, and pretty soon, tyrants, zombie dogs, and those gross guys with the long tongues started running rampant. Now there's only one way to enforce the quarantine that will save America. Forget social distancing, it's time for martial law. Martial law has been declared numerous times throughout U.S. history, from the Revolutionary War to the 1960s Civil Rights Movement. But what is martial law exactly, and what would it look like in modern life? Martial law is typically declared in times of national emergency, though what exactly constitutes an emergency varies from nation to nation. Once martial law is declared, most civil rights are temporarily suspended, and the U.S. military assumes control of all law enforcement duties, although existing law enforcement is still active and aids in establishing martial law. Because martial law pretty much suspends democracy as we know it, in the United States it has been sparingly used, and even when it has, it's been a very limited scope. If there's one thing country music has taught us, it's that Americans love their freedom, and they don't take kindly to the government infringing on it. Thus, martial law is only declared in the U.S. for the most extreme circumstances, for times when the military is needed to help maintain law and order. Recent incidents of martial law include its enactment after the attack on Pearl Harbor, but even then it was only declared in Hawaii, and only because an imminent invasion was feared. In the U.S., only the president has the power to enact martial law nationally. Each state governor has the right to enact martial law in their own state individually and enforce it with the aid of federal troops as well as the National Guard. Controversially, though, in 2007, President George W. Bush's administration added a provision into a military funding bill that allowed the president to take command of the National Guard units of each state without the governor's consent. Let's say your city ends up on the T-virus menu. One day you're working your 4 full-time jobs while also attending college and still not making rent, and suddenly people start turning into zombies and lickers all around you. The state governor gets on TV and announces he's enacting martial law to enforce a mandatory quarantine. The first thing you'll notice about your new life is that you've got a curfew again, only this one is much more restrictive and better enforced than the one your parents set up while you were in high school. You're not allowed to be out of your house from 8 p.m. to 9 a.m. every single day.
Was that martial law?
The flow of people, and it makes it easier for law enforcement to spot bad actors. During wartime, if you were violating curfew at 2 in the morning, there's a good chance you were an enemy saboteur. Curfews during a viral pandemic, though, can also help limit the spread of the disease. And if the outbreak is severe enough, you might not be allowed out of your home at all, except on specific days for specific times. A highly restricted curfew could, for instance, only allow you to leave your home for 3 hours every 3rd day. Each part of a city could have a different curfew, and thus the spread of the virus would be highly limited, as only one part of the city would be away from home at any given time. In most nations, martial law automatically suspends all of your civil rights.
Look at the comment section of what martial law is. Rights are rights if someone can take them away. They are temporarily privileges, and every day the list gets shorter. George Carlin. Wow. Just that he made that speech. Rights aren't rights if someone can take them away. There are temporarily privileges, and every day the list gets shorter. So according to George Carlin, our privileges get shorter and shorter each year. Each 4 years. Every time we elect the president. That should tell you a lot about the voting system. If the U.S. announces martial law, I want this man to be the announcer. He will tell me people are dying in fire. What do you think is going on right now? A whole bunch of chaos, a whole bunch of gun violence, a whole bunch of stabbing spree, a whole bunch of home invasions, a whole bunch of mass shootings at malls, mass shootings at churches, mass shootings at schools. They even come to the point where officers has been randomly being attacked. Could y'all see the footage of the teenagers was running around and then they saw a cop and they hit him with a fire extinguisher? Extinguisher. Look at this.
Your heart knows what it wants. So do your taste.
Come on, you bastard. It said it's a teen arrested and fire extinguisher attack against NYPD. Look at this.
Police have arrested an 18-year-old accused of spraying an NYPD traffic agent with a fire extinguisher. He is now charged with assault. It happened last week on St. Nicholas Avenue and 118th Street in Harlem. Police are still looking for at least 2 other suspects.
Cops in the Bronx are looking for the man who snatched a purse from a 69-year-old woman in the Soundview section. This happened earlier this month on Watson.
You saw that? They literally took a fire extinguisher and use it on the cop and just haul ass. Tell you, man, these kids has absolutely no respect for authority. That proves it. Look, there's another one. It said a Magnet rider attacked cops with fire extinguisher. No, that's not it.
But first tonight, a story you'll see only on 10 Tampa Bay. Disturbing video of 2 police officers punching, then using a taser to disable a 16-year-old boy. All of it stemming from an argument during a Memorial Day pool party. This is 10 Tampa Bay at 6. I'm Carolina Lee.
I'm Frank Wiley in for Dave. Tonight, that boy's mother is asking how things escalated.
Teen alleged brutally after being punished.
Are launching an internal investigation.
2 days ago.
Another accusation of police brutality against Lakeland Police Department, but this time the person making the allegation is just 16 years old.
It's disgusting how he was treated.
Tate Lewis says that's her 16-year-old son, Jamal Hudson, being punched and tased by Lakeland Police. Witnesses to the altercation yelling to the officers, letting them know Hudson is a minor.
They were told to leave, and they were leaving. When that comment was said, that's when all hell broke loose.
The video does not show what led up to the altercation, but Hudson says he was attending a pool party that was broken up when a neighbor called police. He says he went back to the pool to retrieve his shirt, and that's when what first started as a verbal confrontation with officers escalated. In the video,
damn, look at this. They're literally going in on this guy.
Officer gripping him by the hair
Yeah, what was this all about?
Before falling to the ground.
And none of those
Look
kids
at that.
touched those police officers before.
And they kicked him.
It was just a verbal argument between a grown man and a 16-year-old boy.
The police affidavit states as they tried to control Hudson, he flailed at them, landing a punch to the arresting officer's face. This latest allegation of police brutality comes just 3 days after local community activists demanded Police Chief Sam Taylor reopen their investigation into officers involved in the videotape confrontation with Antoine Glover. The Polk State Attorney's Office recently announced charges against Glover had been dropped.
Although we have several cases that we've been dealing with in Lakeland, I think this is the most disturbing.
Jamal Hudson was in juvenile court today facing charges of trespassing, battery on a police officer, and resisting arrest. Lakeland Police Chief Taylor says he is aware of the incident, has met with community leaders now about it, and has already requested an administrative review by the Office of Professional Standards. In Bartow, Eric Lasser, 10 Tampa Bay.
Now, we also requested a copy of police body cam images in the video. Officers were wearing the cameras, but it's not clear if they were activated during that confrontation. Hudson was appointed a public attorney and told to stay home until his next court hearing on June 7th.
Wow. This is new. This happened 2 days ago at a pool party. A Lakeland teenager alleged police officer brutally after being punched, tased, doing. Wow. See, this is exactly why it's hard to sympathize with the police. After y'all just saw what happened with the teen used a fire extinguisher against the police. It's kind of hard to sympathize with the police after you constantly seeing police abuse their power against somebody who looks like. Just saying. Because I just saw the video of the teenagers, by the way, sprayed a hose through a cop car and ran. And you see how the people in the comment section was going in on the teenager and saying how this is saying something about this teen is out of control and this and that. But then in the next video, you seen, on the other hand, you see cops abusing their power and how they against people of color, and how the parents want justice. And it's like, this is why this is crazy. This world's getting crazy. The world's getting crazier and crazier every day. Whether it's from either the criminals or from the police. This is exactly what I said. It's exactly what I said. It's no longer safe to be outside, because you either getting it from the police, or you're getting it, especially if you are a people of color. You either getting it from the police, or you're getting it from the criminals. Either way, you are getting got if you are people of color. Just saying. Cheers, gang. Oh my god. I need 2 shots. I had need 2 shots for that one. Not this one. You could think. Oh, you sound like living the edge. Oh my god. Cheers, guys. Stay hydrated. Happy Friday. Oh my god. Ooh. And the hint. The 2 Blakers, it's not a joke, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, I had just happened to took 2 Blakers back to back. Y'all saw it on camera. If I didn't check it out, rewind it back, and you will see me took not just 1, but 2 Blakers back to back. If I rewind the footage. Yes, you can rewind this Yes, you can rewind this live stream. So you can just go right back, check it out. Watch me take 2 Blakers. If you don't believe me. Ooh. Y'all see me take the time with challenges on the shorts, but I'll be taking not just 2 Blakers, 3 Blakers, 4 Blakers. Try to go in on 5. Sometimes it's difficult to even do 2. Oh my god. You definitely put it right here. Right here. Definitely put it right here. Oh yeah. Definitely right here too. Definitely put it high. Instantly put it high. We take the 2 Blakers. Definitely put it instant high right there. Oh my god.
They pulled up by boat to make some mischief.
But these aren't pirates. These are teens treating a Naples dock like their own playground.
Look at this. Check this out. More teens getting out of control. Moments.
They pulled up by boat to make some mischief.
But these aren't pirates. These are teens treating a Naples dock like their own playground. You're watching NBC2 News at 11. I'm Brenna White.
And I'm Peter Bush. The teens danced on tables and played with fire extinguishers.
Wow.
NBC2's Megan Myers is talking to people who live in Mangrove Bay who had their neighborhood surveillance camera in just the right spot.
The group of teens hopped off their boat and onto this dock. Neighbors say they were up to no good. Their bad decisions were caught on video.
Why were these kids doing that? Why were they here?
Odds are the group thought they wouldn't get caught, clearly missing the surveillance cameras capturing their every move. Around 11 p.m. last Friday night, jumping off the boat, they left the party lights flashing. and flicked on the dock lights like they owned the place. It started with a dance party on the furniture.
From there, they got the fire extinguishers and broke them down and started spraying the fire extinguishers everywhere.
Spraying each other with the fire extinguishers and opening up dock storage containers, spraying inside them.
What was the point of them doing that? I mean, they could just all have been hanging out, together at the beach or something. Why did they have to go destroy property?
The late night excursion coming to an abrupt end. One kid comes running around the dock with everyone hopping on the boat in a hurry.
One of the neighbors heard something and came out and scared them, and they hopped back onto their boat and off they went.
Driving off on the water, aware they left behind a mess, but unaware of all of the evidence they left behind.
They'll be caught and they will be in trouble.
In Naples, Megan Myers, NBC2.
Whole lot of crimes been going on lately. Under the watch of Joe Biden, it seems like everybody is, because of the lawlessness that we are living in, nobody is afraid to go to jail, because it seems like if you do get caught, you're going to get released. The very you're going to get released the next day. Look at this. Speaking of the mall shooting, this mall shooting, ladies and gentlemen, this done about the suspect and the Augusta mall shooting.
With breaking news at midday, the Barnwell County just released the name of a county jail inmate who died last week. 39-year-old Eddie Myers was taken to Aiken Regional Hospital on the 24th, but he later passed away. An autopsy was performed Monday, and results are pending further investigation. SLED is investigating his death. Also breaking, a major development in the Augusta mall shooting investigation. Richmond County deputies say they have arrested
mall shooting is becoming a thing.
Nelson. Report details say she's facing 2 counts of aggravated assault for her role in the Sunday afternoon shooting. Right now, we're working to learn more about her involvement during the incident. For mall security measures, we reached out to management to learn more, but they told us Dillard's has their own security and operations, so they couldn't comment. Closer look, we found multiple malls owned by Brookfield Properties that do have license plate reading cameras in their parking lots, yet they don't have a publicly posted plan in place for other security measures compared to other malls.
Hold up, what's it?
We begin with breaking news at midday. The Barnwell County just released the name of a county jail inmate who died last week. 39-year-old Eddie Myers was taken to Aiken Regional Hospital on the 24th, but he later passed away. An autopsy was performed Monday, and results are pending further investigation. SLED is investigating his death. Also breaking, a major development in the Augusta mall shooting investigation. Richmond County deputies say they have arrested 24-year-old Tybria Nelson. Report details say she's facing 2 counts of aggravated assault for her role in the Sunday afternoon shooting. Right now, we're working to learn more about her involvement during the incident. For mall security measures, we reached out to management to learn more, but they told us Dillard's has their own security and operations, so they couldn't comment. Closer look, we found multiple malls owned by Brookfield Properties that do have license plate reading cameras in their parking lots, yet they don't have a publicly posted plan in place for other security measures compared to other malls like Stonecrest Mall in the Atlanta area owned by a different company which has security robots. Augusta Mall owners say they are thankful for PD and security partners for swiftly handling the situation.
Look at this. Now it's becoming a trend. Mall shootings. Because it's happening in multiple areas. Look at this. This one took place.
News Network covers Fort Wayne, where 2 people were hurt in a.
This one took place in Fort Wayne Mall. This happened 3 weeks ago.
Shooting at Glenbrook Mall. Neither of their injuries are believed to be life-threatening. The shooting happened just before 3 this afternoon. Police say 2 men had guns in the mall's food court. One man, 22-year-old Brandon Key, was arrested. He's facing felony charges. The other man remains at large.
See? Every time we talk around, there's more and more mall shootings have been occurring. And it's all within back to back of each other. Because that took place 3 weeks ago. But guess what also took place 3 weeks ago? Not 3 weeks ago. Guess what also took place 2 weeks ago? I should say. A University Park Mall shooting.
An arrest for a minor as well.
This took
And
place
we
2
also
weeks
know
ago.
that teen who was taken to.
Welcome back, and look, we want to get back to that breaking news we brought you just about 15 minutes ago about an arrest related to the shooting at UP Mall over the weekend.
An arrest for a minor as well. And we also know that that teen who was taken to the Juvenile Justice Center, a 16-year-old, was also shot in the foot.
Yeah, a lot to follow here, a lot to unpack. Let's get to Natasha Cassell. She's there near the mall. We got a lot of threads to pull here. Walk us through what you know so far.
Lauren, Josh, initial reports said no one was injured at the University Park
16-year-old
Mall over the weekend
16-year-old got
when shots
arrested.
rang out. But just before noon, we were
16-year-old.
being told that not only was someone injured, but they were also taken into custody. Yesterday, Mishawaka police were called to the St. Joseph Regional Medical
16-year-old
Center
shot
in
in
regards
the
to
foot.
a 16-year-old who was shot in the foot, which later revealed their involvement to the shooting. And here's what we know. On
He was
Saturday,
involved in the shooting.
Mishawaka, St. Joseph County, and South Bend police were dispatched to the University Park Mall after multiple calls of an active shooter on the property. Chaos both inside and outside the mall as officers searched for a shooter and any civilians who may have been injured. Reports say a fight broke out in the center court of the mall, which led to an individual to take out their firearm and discharge a few rounds. Our team spoke to a woman who witnessed the very moment the shooter took out their gun.
The guy noticed that everybody was watching, the guy with the gun. He was going to put the gun away, and when he noticed that everybody was watching, he just started looking at everybody with the gun in his hand. So everybody else got panicked and started running. We don't know if he was going to start. And that moment,
A 16-year-old though? What?
Kind of felt that he's good.
Oh my God! Come on, man.
I'm here right in front. He's going to do it.
What y'all doing, kids?
The 16-year-old has been taken into the Juvenile Justice Center, and they are facing charges of dangerous possession of a firearm and unlawful carry of a firearm by a juvenile. We have reached out to the University Park Mall for a statement in regards to the over-the-weekend shooting, and they said they will reach out to us within the week. Live in Mishawaka, Natasha Cassell, 16 News Now.
And to be specific, let's talk about it. They talked to us and said, hey, look, we have to go through our PR team, so we don't know exactly when we'll hear something this week, but keep an eye on that. Real quick, Natasha, I don't know where you are. Can you see there's a circus that was actually set up on the grounds there? It looks like that's still set up. It's still busy out there where you are?
Yes, I believe it is still busy out here, but honestly, for it to be a mall, it's not as busy as it should have been. More than likely due to the fact over the weekend incidences.
Right, but everything is open as normal, I guess. All right, Natasha Cassell live for us in Mishawaka. Natasha, thank you.
Now you know why that I said that it started to become a thing. A mall shooting it started to become a thing because it seemed like more and more incidents of mall shootings have been happening all over the United States. Because it's not just happening in one particular area. It's happening in multiple areas and at multiple cities. So far, you saw the one that took place in University Park Mall. You saw one that took place in the Allen Mall. You saw one that took place in Fort Wayne Mall. You saw the one that took place in Augusta Mall. We saw the one that took place in Concord Mall. And by the way, it all happened within a month, within a month of each other. All happened within a month. You can see, all within happened within a month of each other. All these mall shootings. Look, 3 weeks ago. 3 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago. 3 weeks ago. 3 weeks ago. 1 month ago. 2 weeks ago. See, look, 1 month ago. See? And it all in different cities. They're not just talking about the same mall. They're all talking about different malls. So that's why I said, let me find out that mall shooting is now a thing here in the United States, because look how many mall shootings have took far so far. Look how many I just named within, and all this happened between a month from each other. But then the one that took place at Glenbrook as well. Remember the one that took place at Glenbrook.
Get the hell out. It's a scary world anymore. It's a scary place. You can't go to the mall. And you scared. Get the hell out. It's a scary world anymore. It's a scary place. You can't even go to the mall. And you scared. Because he didn't know what was going on. Everybody's running and everything.
Yeah, we were here at the Glenbrook Mall sitting and eating, and all of a sudden gunshots rang out, and we didn't know what was going on, and saw people just hysterically running, so we joined the crew and just got out of there, you know. It was just a lot of noise and scattering and people running, you know, and so we didn't know exactly where the shots were coming from, and that's a very scary feeling, because you don't know which way to run. So just kind of follow the crowd and hope that you're safe, you know.
And that proves right there that it is no longer safe to be outside, because if that's the feeling you have just by being out there, then what'd that tell you? Huh? What'd that tell you? Huh? If you had those type of feelings just by being outside, then what'd that tell you? Under the leadership of Joe Biden, it is no longer safe to be outside. Because, like I said, ladies and gentlemen, look up the amount of mall shootings that took place here in the United States. Notice that I only mention mall shootings. There's other shootings that occur here in the United States, not just the malls. But I'm just focusing on the malls to see how much there is that took place in a month, and surprisingly, there is a whole lot of shooting that be going on all over the United States when it comes to the malls.
County police want to find the person who shot and killed a woman found dead in a car. Police say it happened just before 7:30 this morning on Mall Parkway in Stonecrest. Witnesses say a man was seen running from the car. Fox 5's Eric Perry is live on the story tonight. Eric, you talked with family members throughout the day.
This other TC every day. Stuff like this.
Yeah, many of them really just devastated over this. They believe that they know the person responsible. Police tell us that the driver of that car actually hit a light pole where that cone is, and that car ended up coming to a stop where you see that green box is. That's a power box. A pink tarp shields the public from a tragedy inside this car Friday morning after DeKalb police found the body of a woman shot to death. Police say they got the call just before 7:30 to the Mall Parkway near the entrance of Walmart. Investigators believe the driver of the car hit a light pole and ultimately crashed into a power box. Witnesses say they heard gunshots and saw a man running from the scene.
That's my heart.
Ryan Johnson says the woman killed was his aunt Sabrina, believed to be in her mid to late 50s.
I got the phone call maybe within an hour that happened. I had a nephew that was in the parking lot, happened to be here just randomly at the time, and that's his aunt as well. He witnessed it.
Johnson says the nephew saw the gunman running from the car and believes the two knew each other.
She was so giving and so open, a lot of folks. That was one of these situations.
As police continue to figure out what happened, family members work to figure out why this happened to a genuine and kind person.
I got 5 kids. I don't know how to break the news.
Yeah, everyone says that she loved children. We've reached out to DeKalb County multiple times today for updates of suspect information. At last check, the alleged shooter, still on the run. Of course, we'll keep you updated here in Stonecrest. I'm Eric Perry, Fox 5 News.
Eric, thanks so much.
See what I mean? Everywhere you go, and that took place in Atlanta. That's Atlanta news. See, look. See, everywhere in the United States, there's some type of mall shooting that took place this month. This is exactly why I keep saying over and over again how it's no longer safe to be outside, because no matter where you go, this is what you got to deal with under the leadership of your President of the United States, Joe Biden. Look at this.
Man who shot an Omaha police officer in the face will spend more than 3.
Look, it says man who shot Omaha officer in the face while at West Road Mall. See, this is another mall, ladies and gentlemen. This took place at West Road Mall 2 weeks ago. This one got the comments turned off. Look, man who shot at West Road Mall.
Decades in prison.
25-year-old Kenya Jenkins answered a guilty plea in March. A judge called him an extreme danger to society today before handing down his sentence. KTV News Watch 7 Sarah Feeler is in the courtroom. She joins us in the studio.
Kenya Jenkins shot Omaha police officer Jeff Whitstruck in the face at Westroads in March of 2021. Prosecutors say it was both the culmination of many crimes and the beginning of many more crimes that need a harsh penalty. Prosecutors say Jenkins stole a car in Chicago and a gun in Iowa before making his way to Westroads Mall and stealing clothing. Prosecutors say Jenkins alone escalated the encounter with police who went to cite him, pulling the gun and shooting Whitstruck in the face multiple times, eventually saying, quote, "I told him not to touch me." From there, prosecutors say he led officials on a chase down I-80 to Lincoln before stop sticks brought his car to a halt and he surrendered. His attorney says he has severe mental illness and a cognitive disability. Jenkins apologized to Wittstruck. Wittstruck told Jenkins he holds no hate in his heart for him. Judge Shelley Stratman told Jenkins he may have disabilities, but his actions that day prove he knew the weight of what he had done and that it was wrong, saying, quote, "The fact that we're not here on a homicide is nothing short of a miracle."
Oh my God,
the words of the judge were so important, that this individual was an extreme danger to society. And the number of people, as Katie was well put, would put so many people at risk.
Jenkins will spend at least 31 and a half years in prison before he's eligible for parole for assault on an officer and use of a weapon to commit a felony. He must be released in just over 40 years and was given more than 1,000 days credit for his time spent in the jail and at the Lincoln Regional Center, a mental health facility. Bill, back to you.
Do y'all remember the movie with Eddie Murphy, where he was in the movie called Another 48 Hours, and he mentioned something about how the reason why he's in jail is because he had to deal with fraud. He was in there for fraud. But he was saying that murderers get less time than him. Murderers, he was mentioning that he mentioned that in the movie Another 48 Hours about how murderers get less time than him, and that's proven right there. Because he shot a cop in the face and only gets 30 years in jail, and get immediately released right after the 30 years. And look.
In Regional Center, a mental health where he's eligible for parole.
And the number of people, as Katie
listen to this.
well put, would put so many people at risk.
Jenkins will spend at least 31 and a half years in prison before he's eligible for parole for assault on an officer and use of a weapon to commit a felony. He must be released in just over 40 years and was given more than 1,000 days credit for his time spent in the jail and at the Lincoln Regional Center, a mental health facility. Bill, back to you.
So 1,000 years credit. You hear that? 1,000 years credit. Wow. You hear that? 1,000 years credit. And This is why the country is the way it is today, because y'all heard it for yourself. A thousand credits, right? Every time because of the leadership of Joe Biden,
will mark one.
This is what everybody is forced to deal with on a daily basis due to the hands of gun violence. This is what people are forced to do on a daily basis. Look at this.
All right, shifting gears here now. Monday will mark 1 year since the mass shooting at the Allen Premium Outlets. A gunman killed 8 people and seriously wounded 7 others in the May 6th attack last year. The city of Allen has plans to host a free remembrance service at its events center on Monday night. A citywide moment of silence is going to be observed at 3:36 p.m. We've also learned that Medical City McKinney and Medical City Plano will be holding a moment of silence at that time as well, because as we'll remember, patients from that shooting were taken to those hospitals.
It comes to the point where it's not one family that hasn't gone through that this year. Not one family hasn't gone through that this year. Thanks to the leadership of Joe Biden. Either you know a friend, either you're going through it, or you know a friend that's going through it, or your friends know a friend that knows somebody that's going through it, or you know a family, or you know a family member that has a friend that knows somebody that is going through somebody, that knows somebody that got their life taken by the hands of gun violence. Thanks to the leadership of Joe Biden and him condemning lawlessness.
After the shooting now, one woman is expressing her gratitude for the life-saving care she received by giving back to the community.
I was so scared when the incident happened, but later on I was realizing how lucky I was to survive. So I thought volunteering will be a good option for me to say my thanks back to Medical City Plano. I signed up to visit trauma patients who will be in hospital when they are in a position to meet, to give them hope, to talk to them.
Allen Mall officials say that a permanent memorial to honor the victims is still in the works. If you would like, you could join us Monday as we look back at the tragedy and remember those who were killed. It's at 6:30 on our streaming platform, WFAA Plus. All you have to do to get to that is to go to the App Store on your Roku, Amazon Fire, or Apple TV device. Search for WFAA there and then download the WFAA Plus app there on your smart TV.
Like I said, there's somebody, either you or somebody you know has gone through has gone through where they're that's crazy. I mean it's like either you or somebody you know has gone through this. And like I said, ladies and gentlemen, it's going through all malls all over the United States. From Delaware to Allen Mall to Greenbrook to Allen, even Texas Outlet. It's some type of mall shooting that took place. It all took place this month. That's why I keep saying for the past few days that it's no longer safe to be outside, because even by you being at the mall, you would never think that you have to worry about a mass shooting happening at a mall. But it's not just happening in a certain, like I said, it's not just happening at a certain area. It's happening at all areas. It seems like it's happening at all areas, because look how many malls that I just mentioned within the past month alone that are dealing with mass shooting when it comes to malls. Matter of fact, let's ask Google how many mass shootings we have in malls in 2024. How many mass shootings in malls? Okay, there have been. Hold up, man. There we go. Hold on, trying to. Wow. Look at this. These are the cities that have dealt with mass shootings in 2024. Look at this. Mass shootings in 2024. Is it a thing? Look how many cities and states that have dealt with mass shootings in 2024, from Minnesota, Maryland, Connecticut, California, Virginia, Michigan, Illinois, Mississippi, Ohio, California, Minnesota, Florida, Illinois, Jersey, Pennsylvania, Illinois, Pennsylvania, Michigan, back to Florida again, North Carolina, back to Michigan again. In May, wait a minute, let's step back. All right, so in May 30th, mass shooting happened in Minnesota. On May 30th, the same day, a mass shooting happened this time in Maryland. Then May 2028, a mass shooting happened in Connecticut. Waterbury, Connecticut. May 27th, mass shooting happened in San Bernardino, California. May 27th, 2024, mass shooting happened in Richford, Virginia. May 27th, 2024, mass shooting happened in Lansing, Michigan. May 26th, 2024, mass shooting happened in Chicago, Illinois. May 26th, 2024, mass shooting happened in Kansas City, Missouri. May 26th, 2024, mass shooting happened in Cleveland, Ohio. See? Look at this. And the list goes on and on and on. All happened within this month. All back to back to back to back. Look at this. Every day, a mass shooting happening at a different area. Look, from 30th, and it keep going up. Go down. Pretty much go up. Look. Then we got one in Florida, May 25th, 2024, in Fort Pierce, Florida. There you go. So look, if you go, the list goes on and on and on. May 23rd, 2024, mass shootings happened in New York, New Jersey. May 2022, mass shooting happened in Chester, Pennsylvania. In May 2021, mass shooting happened again in Chicago, Illinois. May 2024, mass shooting happened in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. May 20th, 2024, mass shooting happened in Detroit, Michigan. May 18th, 2024. So look, all this happened within this month. Look, every day, look, it's like every single day, somewhere around the United States, there was a mass shooting. Look, 2021, 2020, not 2020. May 21, May 20th, May 18th, May 18th, May 18th, May 18th, May 18th. And then we got another list. Look at this. May 12th, Florida. May 12th, Atlanta, Georgia. May 12th, Montgomery, Alabama. May 12th, Northport, Massachusetts. May 11th, Louisville, Kentucky. May 11th. See, look. May 5th, all the way up to beginning. From beginning, well, pretty much from beginning of March. From pretty much, hold on, listen. Pretty much from the beginning of May, all the way towards the end of May, we had experienced nothing but mass shootings all over the United States. Back to 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 back. Because look, it pretty much covered the entire month of May. Because there's either one happening in May 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 8th, 11th, 12th, 18th. $18, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 28, 30. Throughout the entire month, we have experienced mass shootings, all within the month of May. It pretty much covered the entire calendar when it comes to mass shootings. And it's happening, it definitely happening multiple times in Chicago. It says that I'm like, wow. And not just the month of May. This is why, ladies and gentlemen, this is why I keep saying that it is no longer safe to be outside. Because look at that alone. It's like, wow, every day somebody, okay, so it's just like I said yesterday, during my live stream yesterday, is that the company is going to make the most money out of this mass shooting. It's going to be funerals, because of how many people, how much funeral is going to be taking place due to mass shootings. That's why I said that the funerals industry is going to be making a whole lot of money due to mass shootings alone. Do y'all remember how much funeral companies was making during the pandemic. During the pandemic, they was making a whole lot of money. They was making billions and billions of dollars off of the pandemic alone, because thousands upon thousands of people have died by the hands of the the stuff made by Dr. Fauci. First they blame it on China, but then the whole time it was made in the lab by Dr. Fauci. And even Fox News has went on public saying that they lied to us about it. They lied to us saying that it was safe and effective, and it wasn't. It wasn't safe and effective. Talk about the antidote they have during the pandemic started, and they keep telling you that it was safe and effective if you take it, and the whole time it wasn't safe and effective. It did absolutely nothing to protect you from. That's exactly why when you were to take this antidote, people would still find themselves catching it after they took it twice. Despite they took it twice, they still find themselves catching it. And it has been confirmed by Fox News that it is not safe and effective. And they show the victims of people who took the antidote, how it has ruined their lives. Some even have passed away from it. That's why I said funeral industry. Yeah, you can even Google it, because when I asked Google how much funeral has revenue per year, the first thing that bring up is the incident back in 2018, 2019, or 2020, 2021. Back when the incident happened, that's when they make up the most money. That's when they make the most revenue. It's during that period of time, during the pandemic era. That's when they make the most money. They made like $72 billion in funeral revenue during that period of time. $72 billion. How much funerals revenue per year?
According to Rock Financial, industry market size for funeral business in the U.S., funeral services market reports show an annual value between $16 billion and $20 billion.
See? See, look, it mentioned, look, it's the first thing they mentioned. Funeral service market reported shows an annual value between 16 billion and 20 billion. This is 2022. What happened during that time, ladies and gentlemen? The pandemic. This is how much money they made during the pandemic. $16 billion to $20 billion. That's millions of people have lost their loved ones due to the hands of the pandemic. And we all know funerals. Y'all know funerals, though, it's not cheap. So That's why it says the people is going to make the companies the industry is going to make the most money out of this. It's going to be the funeral industry, because that month alone, that month of May alone, they're going to make a lot of money due to a lot of funeral service that's going to be taking place just on the month of May alone, due to the hands of a mass shooting that took place in the month of May alone. Because y'all saw the long list that took place from May 1st, ladies and gentlemen, May 1st, all the way to yesterday, which was May 30th. There have been nothing but mass shootings that took place from May 1st all the way to 30th in different malls. Notice that I said only malls, ladies and gentlemen, because this has been more than mass shootings, not just taking place in malls, but in other areas. That's why I said that the industry that's going to make the most money out of this, out of all businesses, is going to be the funeral industry. Check this out. Look. High paying funeral professional jobs. Funeral director salary, $52,500 to $76,000 per year. The emperor's salary range for $40,000 to $58,000 per year. Cemetery caretaker salary range for $42,500 to $50,000 per year. Funeral arranger salary range for $44,000 to $50,000 per year. So you definitely been making a lot of money if you are part of the funeral industry. Cause that's by be paying a part. That's by you working for the funeral industry. This is how much you're gonna be making per year, and your salary. Be close to making $100,000 per year working for the funeral industry. Especially if you own the the funeral industry, you definitely going to be making money. If you're the owner of one of the funeral industry, you definitely gonna be making millions upon millions. But everybody is doing well physically, mentally, and emotionally this Friday, and have slept like kings and queens last night. And if anybody has to tell you yet, you are smart, beautiful, kind, and wise, and you're the most important thing on this earth. Don't let anybody tell you any difference. That's right. You, and you. Don't let anybody tell you any different. You are special in your own way. I'm special in my own way. That will make us special in our own way, because we are unique. And let's take a cheers to us still being here, knowing that there's others It's not blessed to be here. So, cheers, gang. You hear what's going on outside? I don't know if you got to hear, but they doing exactly what that guy says in the video. Not letting stuff like that stop them from living life. You can see people still outside still try to. Of course, you still see people try to go outside and live life, and not let the criminals take over the city. Not let the criminals have them live in fear, and have them scared. Have them be scared in the house. And scared. Not having them be scared to come out. So that's why you see. That's why you hear a lot of people outside. You hear the people, you hear the music, you hear the people having a good time out there, because they're doing exactly that. Not letting the criminals fear them into enjoying life. But once again, ladies and gentlemen, be safe, be cautious, pay attention to your surroundings, because it's still crazy people out there that don't give a F if that's out there in public. They will use their firearm on you, because there is plenty of times where they'll be just driving up and down the road out of nowhere. You just be driving up and down the road, just mind your business, and then out of nowhere, some guy cuts you off, and then you try to confront them, and then next thing you know, you find yourself being you find your life being threatened by a guy who wants to pull out a gun out on you. Says that, do you want me to shoot you? Do you want me to shoot you? Do you want me to shoot you? All because you want to confront somebody that cut you off. Now that person feel like that they feel the need to flex their gun out on you just because they have a license to carry. This is exactly why, and shout out to Wake and Bang Inc. This is exactly why Wake and Bang Inc. Said that weapons should have never, ever have been invented, because history have shown that human beings in general do not know how to control their emotions, and that they always have a history, and history have shown that human beings in general have always acted out of emotions. So what do you think is going to happen if a human being has a weapon, and then and somebody pissed them off? What do you think is going to happen? How do you think that human being is going to react when the person got a weapon on his hand? The person is going to, it's guaranteed that the person is going to use that weapon on you out of anger. This is why, it's exactly why weapons should have never been invented, because human beings have been known to not able to control their anger. Just by you pushing them off, the first thing they would do is threaten you with their gun. because history has shown that. What the hell? Bad, y'all. Because history has shown that every time it gets hot at this time, that's when a lot. Because history has shown that crimes have been going up lately under the hands of Joe Biden. It's the reason why, ladies and gentlemen, we look at the comment section down below where Joe Biden had done that speech. You see that gave Joe Biden a piece of their minds. Take a look.
There's nothing easy about it.
Look at that.
Through it all, though, the United States has worked relentlessly to support Israeli security,
look at the comment
get
section.
humanitarian supplies into Gaza, to get a ceasefire and a hostage deal to bring this war to an end. Yesterday,
He was live
with this new initiative,
earlier.
we've taken an important
Look at the
step in
comment
that
section.
direction. I want to level with you today as to where we are and what might be possible. But I need your help. Everyone who wants peace now must raise their voices and let the leaders know they should take this deal. Work to
Look
make
at
it
the comment
real,
section.
make it lasting.
They're going into him. Most of
Forge
them
a
is
better future out of the tragic
FJB.
terror attack and war. It's time to begin this new stage. For the hostages to come home, for Israel to be secure, for the suffering to stop. It's time for this war to end. For the day after to begin. Thank you very much.
Mr. President, how you gonna say you want this war to end? Last time I checked, wasn't you the one that funded these two wars? Was it Joe Biden the one that funded those two wars? Is the reason why we're having this war in the first place? Isn't Biden the reason why we are in war? Isn't Biden the reason why we are in war in the first place? So we ain't talking about what he's talking about. We says this war. We said the war has ended. You tell me you said the war needed to end. I'm like, did you want to start this war, Joe Biden? Look.
To be official, Joe is more than welcome on this program for the entire hour, and I'll give him an extra 3 hours of uninterrupted radio time. But I don't think Joe could handle a live segment on MSDNC, much less an entire hour on this program. It's pretty simple. This doesn't look good for Joe. He needs help answering basic questions. He struggles, he mumbles, he bumbles, he stumbles. He's having a hard time walking and talking. And let's not forget when, he read the instructions from the teleprompter like an elderly Ron Burgundy. 4 more years, pause, whoops. From the economy to inflation to illegal immigration to violence in the Middle East, war in Europe, to the obvious cognitive decline. It is no secret why Biden is hemorrhaging support from several usually reliable demographics. Then, of course, he's out there talking about his dear uncle that was eaten by cannibals. But anyway, I digress. But it's not stopping Democrats and strategic, minds that are in the Democratic Party. James Carville's a lot of things. I've debated him, smart guy, and he's getting really pissed off. Watch.
So I hear this a lot. Young voters are just not into this. It's 2 candidates. One's in the 80s. One's almost in the 80s.
Look how old these people are,
They're
man.
Concerned about.
Look how old these people are, and yet they are, yet still control. They can control of our future.
Can't blame them for.
These are the people who are in control of our future. These old men.
Are you watching what is happening in the Supreme Court? if you're 26, do you see what they're doing? First of all, they're going to take every right that you could possibly have away from you. If Trump and Roberts and Alito and Gorsuch and Thomas and Leonard Leo and the Heritage Foundation, if they get a hold, there will be no government left.
Like we don't have any of that like that now with Joe Biden in office.
But that's all right, you little 26-year-old. You don't feel like the election's important to me. They're not addressing the issues that I care about.
Oh, stop.
Don't worry, with Joe unable to communicate effectively, Democrats are once again rolling out, well, their not-so-secret weapon. That's right, VP Harris. And recently during a pretty grotesque, fawning interview with Barrymore, Kamala spoke out against those who dare to criticize her constant, inappropriate, weird giggling and laughing. Take a look.
You know, you were asking me earlier about what it means to be, like, the first woman. And, you know, it's funny because people still got to get used to this, right? I mean, my staff, for example, sometimes they'll show me little things that just amuse me. Like, apparently, some people love to talk about the way I laugh.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
I love your laugh.
Well, let me just tell you something. I have my mother's laugh.
Oh.
And I grew up around a bunch of women in particular who laughed from the belly. They laughed. They would sit around the kitchen and drinking their coffee, telling big stories with big laughs. You know, I'm never going to be, that's just, I'm not that person.
Oh, my God.
Now, there's really only one way to stop Kamala from laughing, vote her out of office. That would be 189 days from now. And you can send her boss, Joe Biden, to finally retire on the beach in Delaware. Maybe he'll build up his muscles and be able to pull along his beach chair. Hey, to be official, Joe is more than welcome.
See? Meanwhile, this all type of wars has been breaking loose here in the United States. And that's the only thing that your Vice President VP Harris is worried about is her being making fun of for how she laughs. What? There's like people are being bombed over in Europe and Pakistan and you worry about how people make fun of your laugh. And yeah, and they wondering why nobody can stand. Not only that, people cannot just can't stand Joe Biden and want Joe Biden out of office, but not even your VP Harris can save Joe Biden. Not the way she been acting. Because this is the same woman, by the way, who, when was asked about recreational for black people, what's her thoughts on do black people deserve recreational? Do you know what her response was? When it comes to do black people deserve recreational? It's another reason why people is refused to vote for Joe Biden. It's not just because of Joe Biden. It's also because of who his vice president is. Look at this.
We had slavery.
Do you support reparations for black people?
Well, listen, again, we had over 200 years of slavery. We had Jim Crow for almost a century. We had legalized discrimination.
We don't need a history lesson. We don't need none of that. We know this already. Do you support reparations for black people?
So she rather dance about the issue instead of addressing it. Dance about the issue instead of addressing the issue.
This is the
your VP President Harris.
And now we have
I need somebody to make a. I'm gonna have to tell Suede, the remix guy, to make a beat out of this stuttering.
And legalize discrimination.
Talk about Joe can't perform a sentence. What about VP Harris?
Now we have.
Talk about Joe Biden can't perform a sentence. What about VP Harris? Look.
Legalize discrimination, segregation, and now we have
Y'all heard what the question was. Do she support recreational for black people? Did she ever answer that question, ladies and gentlemen?
Again, we have slavery.
Do you support reparations for black people?
Well, listen. Again, we had over 200 years of slavery. We had Jim Crow for almost a century. We had legalized discrimination.
We don't need a history lesson. We don't need none of that. We know this already. Do you support reparations for black people? This is the dancing to bring you into this bad answer.
Y'all heard what she said. Y'all gotta hear this.
We have slavery.
Do you support reparations for black people?
Well, listen. Again, we had over 200 years of slavery. We had Jim Crow for almost a century. We had legalized discrimination.
We don't need a history lesson. We don't need none of that. We know this already.
I know, right?
Do you support reparations for black people? This is the dancing to bring you into this bad answer with a smile.
Mm-hmm.
This is the Democratic way.
And segregation, and now we have.
I need somebody to make a. I'm gonna have to tell Suede, the remix guy, to make a beat out of this stuttering.
And legalize discrimination, segregation, and now we have. Now we have. Now we have.
This is Joe Vice President VP Harris.
Barrier to progress. Legalize discrimination, segregation, and now we have segregation and discrimination that is not legal. Segregation and discrimination that is not legal. Segregation and discrimination. Segregation and discrimination that is not legal. And is a barrier to progress. We have disparities around.
And y'all wondering why people is leaning towards Trump versus Biden because of that reason. Either you're dealing with Stuttering Joe or VP Harris, who love to dance around the question. Either they dance around the question without answering the question, or they lie to you. Give you the answer that you claim that you wanted, but not really give you the truth. Because we all know that Joe Biden is known for his lies, which is once again blows my mind that people would still have voted for Joe Biden over Trump, knowing that he'd be lying to you since before he even got the chance, he'd be lying to the American people during his election. Because remember, he got caught lying about being arrested, and turned out that it was a lie. But yet, everybody still voted for him anyways, despite his lies about him getting arrested all because that was told that Trump was racist. Biden lied about being arrested.
Biden lied about being arrested.
Introducing Domino's New York style pizza.
This is why people are saying FJB.
Was caught in an absolutely absurd lie while campaigning in South Carolina.
See?
This day, 30 years ago, Nelson Mandela walked out of prison and entered into discussions about apartheid. I had the great honor of meeting him. I had the great honor of being arrested with our UN ambassador on the streets of Soweto trying to get to see him on Robbins Island.
So when people heard this, everybody's like, whoa, wait. You were arrested while trying to see Nelson Mandela. That's a big story. In fact, it's so big, it had to be like reported at the time, right?
Uh-huh.
Right? So they went back and they were like,
See?
that's weird.
This is like doing this
Seems to be no
campaign,
evidence
guys.
of that UN ambassador that he just referenced, that guy's still around. They went and asked that guy. That guy's like, no, didn't happen. Joe, what are you doing, Joe?
Look.
What are you doing? He acts like
False.
he's still stuck way back in the day when there weren't cameras at every single event. Bro, you're on people at these magazines and tell them amazing stories.
I've long been inspired by the long struggle of freedom and justice, and one of the great moments of my career
Look at this.
was when the first time Nelson Mandela came to the United States, and we were I was
The first part that made he wasn't arrested.
and we met in the Senate Foreign Relations Executive Committee room, and he came in, and we all stood there and said hello to him and the like, and afterwards he asked me to come by my office and goodbye to say thank you, because he heard I had been stopped trying to get to visit him, to see him in prison. And I had said once, I said I got arrested. I wasn't arrested, I got stopped. He was prevented from
See, he wasn't arrested, he got stopped.
and he was extremely gracious. And you know,
This day, 30 years ago, Nelson Mandela walked out of prison and entered into discussions about apartheid. I had the great honor of meeting him. I had the great honor
Look, he's
of
doing
being
his
arrested
campaign.
with our UN ambassador
This got
on
him
the
elected.
streets of Soweto trying to get to see him on Robbins Island. When he came to the United States, when he came to the White House, to the Senate, I was chairman of the committee, and he
Oh, my
walked
God.
in. The most incredible thing I've ever felt in my life. He walked across in that private room with the big table we have in the executive room. And he walked over, and I said, Mr. President, he leaned, I said, thank you. Thank you for trying to come and see me. This is the most Christ-like guy I ever met. He's an incredible man. Imagine what it would have been had anybody else come back.
See?
He kept everybody expecting it.
And you wonder why this country is in the state that it's in right now, because we got the biggest liar in the history of the United States in office right now, and Joe Biden. Meaning we can't even trust a single word that Joe Biden has been said, because history has been proven that Joe Biden has been lying to you over and over and over and over again, and find himself being caught in the lie by the media over and over and over again. But yet, y'all still voted him as your president over Trump because he's racist. Trump's racist. Ignoring all the lies being told by Joe Biden. And you'll wonder why the world is in the state that it's in right now, which is going straight to hell in a handbasket that being taken over thanks by the takeover of criminals. about to end this live stream. I'll be on here for over 2 hours now. I'm gonna let you guys enjoy your Friday. But if you must go outside, like I said, ladies and gentlemen, be safe. Watch your surroundings. Pay attention to your surroundings, and try not to take as much money with you. Because especially if you go planning to take the money with you, do not put it in your back pocket, because the pickpocket gang is out in a full effect. Courtesy of the news, you've got to watch the news. The pickpocketing people gang has been pickpocketing people when they don't even know it. They find themselves putting money in their back pocket, and then what happened is that the pickpocket gang will walk up to you sneakily, doing it in a sneaky way, so you won't even notice that somebody is walking behind you and trying to pickpocket you for your money. You won't even notice that you just got pickpocketed until after you reach into your pocket, reach for your money, and go, "Hey, what happened to my money? Did I just have it in my back pocket? Why it's not there anymore? Oh no, what did I misplace it somewhere?" Then that's when you realize that you got pickpocketed. So it's People Chat 983. I'm about to end this live stream. Thank y'all for joining me on this live stream. You are the real MVP. Make sure you hit the like button on the live stream if you haven't done so. And for those who have hit the like button on the live stream, I really appreciate that. You are the real MVP. Don't forget to leave a comment in the comment section down below. Let me guys know what you guys think about today's video. And also, don't forget to share this live stream with your friends and family, so they too know that People Chat 983 go live on a daily basis between 4 o'clock Eastern Time, 1 o'clock West Coast, 4 o'clock p.m. East Coast, 1 p.m. West Coast. Don't forget, guys, if you want to go outside, stay safe, pay attention to your surroundings, because it's no longer safe out there. And don't be caught in a group of people, because history shows that some funny stuff might happen. Might be my gun violence might break out, mass shooting might break out, knife spree might break out, like we see in the news. So, like I said, pay attention to your surroundings. You might go out, and y'all just stay safe. People Chat 983, and I am signing out. Y'all have a blessed day. You enjoy Friday. Cheers, gang.